Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Josh Flores from Wall Street Saturday. I just want to thank you guys for checking out the video this week. If you can, please support the channel by liking the video and subscribing. And I just want to inform everybody that everyone on this video are not financial advisors, nor anyone's financial advisors. Anything that's said or seen on the show is strictly for educational purposes only. With that being said, please enjoy the show.
Hey everyone, thank you for coming back to another episode of Wall Street Saturday. We have a really interesting set of stories for you today. We have a lot of activity that was going on in the markets as we continue to approach bear market territory. And then we also saw a bit of blowback as well coming on to the crypto space with several stable coins beginning to lose their peg. But for all of this, introductions first. I'm Joshua Trusty.
Misael Gonzalez.
Mark Calver.
And I'm Josh Flores. Before we get too far ahead, of course, it is May 14th, and I just want to pray us into a good conversation today. But Heavenly Father, I just want to thank you for my brothers here on the call, just meeting up every Saturday, taking time out of their day. Mark has a baby shower, so just thank you for praising, obviously not crazy, but giving him this blessing. Just thank you, Lord. Just bless the conversation. And it's in your holy name we pray. Amen. Yeah, super cool. But like you mentioned, it's been a pretty active week. We saw some new lows for the stock market, S&P 500, NASDAQ, major indexes here. I can share my screen and show a little bit of charts here. Over here is the S&P 500. The past week, you can see it's overall red, down 1.4%. Our lowest day was this Thursday. And then we saw a little bit of a bounce back here. Maybe we could have a little bit of a discussion of whether or not we believe this is the low, but to me, I don't think it will be. You can see year to date, it's down 16%. Some people say that maybe a little bit down here where it reached, I think around down 18%, maybe 17, 18%. Might be recession territory. But the big topic that we want to talk about that happened this week, and I think it happened on May 7th and then maybe 8th, and it kind of snowballed into the rest of the week, is this stable coin Terra USD and this Luna right here. And so we have our good friend Mark here. He's our crypto expert, and we probably don't speak as much about cryptos as we probably should. But do you have any thoughts, or Misael, you guys have any thoughts on what happened this week with Terra? You want to explain what was going on?
All right. Yeah, the big story for cryptos this week was that a lot of two of the stable coins had a bit of a run on the bank. People wanted their money out, and they lost about 90+% of their value within a few days. The only reason why these quote unquote stable coins did not perform as well as the rest of the stable coins was that, as opposed to them being pegged at a 1-to-1 ratio with the dollar, meaning that there's $1 for every coin that's out there for one stable coin. Luna and Terra were basing their value on an algorithm, and that algorithm obviously did not work, and they lost a lot of the value. Something else to point out is that Luna is an offshore operation with its founder, and its main operations taking place in South Korea. So that made a bit suspect. There's talk that there was a type of scam going on, but a lot of people lost money, $50 billion, I think. The market was wiped out within a few days. Shockwaves across the other stable coins, including stable coins and other cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin. For a while at the beginning of the week, we saw that was being down significantly within the first few days of the week. But I believe that when the rest of the stable coins held, there was a bit of a rebound on Friday, and crypto was able to rebound, including Bitcoin, which went rebounded to 30,000 when it was trading around 28,000 a few days prior. So, but yeah, Mark, I don't know if you have any other thoughts. I know you have a little bit of insight into the structure of the coin. And
yeah, I had a quick question actually. I know that we're kind of speaking
that was causing the issues.
Before Josh, you had a question?
Yeah, I had a quick question. I know that we've been kind of using some terms here, and one of the things that I think that was kind of interesting is that there's multiple different types of cryptocurrencies, right? Obviously, Bitcoin being the most well-known is it's a currency, right? And Ethereum is really more of like the contract kind of currency. And so you use the term stablecoin. You think you can explain a little bit about what that actually means as well?
Cool. Obviously, stable is stable. We want to keep we need a coin that's not going to move. That's the whole idea. So if you're trading, you want to get out of something into something stable. Sometimes people just get out into Bitcoin, but if Bitcoin's going down, you're just getting out into something else that's going down. So, and obviously the goal is not to go to cash, because now you have all these tax occurrences and all this stuff, and it's a whole nother mess for your book. So stable coins are absolutely important. And then not to mention, I mean, there's just people that want to hold their money in stable coins because a lot of the interest rates are giving way better returns than any bank's going to offer you. So that's just another aspect of it. And a lot of people did that with Terra. They were holding just their funds in that. I think at some point they were giving like 20% interest, which was like, everyone said like unsustainable. And the only reason they were able to do that was because of their algorithm and Luna and all these other coins holding that peg up. But when the whole market is going down and everything that's supposed to be pegging it is going down, obviously it's hard to keep that peg, which is why, like Misael said, something like Terra or USDC is where it's actually backed with something is a way better option. And I think I agree. USDC, I know that's Josh Trusty's favorite stablecoin. And I would agree with that too, because just from my experience, even when I go to stable coins and I transact, USDC is a lower transaction fee in and out and transferring than Tether is. So I like that for the same reason, and that's the one I choose to use. As far as getting into the Terra Luna, Terra UST fiasco, from what I've gathered and what caused this whole cascade and this bank run was the fact that there was an OTC deal offered to Do Kwon, the owner, under the table, because they claimed this organization, these guys that did this whole thing, they claimed they didn't want to move the market, so they wanted to make a transaction OTC. They were willing to do it at a discounted rate, so that to make it something appealing. So basically, it was an offer that he couldn't refuse, and that was the bait. That was the hook, right? So once they did that at a major discounted rate, they were able to destabilize the peg. And then I believe what they did was buy back in once it dropped, and they wrote it back up once the peg solidified again and repeg, and then sold all of that. And that was the major crash that made the bank run happen. And it was just a cascading effect from there. At the same time, people that owned Terra Luna, which was helping to peg that was crashing too. So everyone started, sorry, I have an alert going off here. Bitcoin's dropping, guys. So basically, it was just a cascading effect from there. And yeah, like Misael said, it was like 90+% down. I personally don't think that this coin's going to recover. I don't see how they can come back from this. I don't think anyone has faith in them anymore. The reason it was even what it was, I think, was because of the returns and the unrealistic rates that were unsustainable. So, and for that reason, I never trust. I did own Terra Luna, obviously, because it was a good trade. I did lose that, pretty much all of it. I think it's down to $1.50 now of what I owned, but I never trusted TUSD. That was one that I would have picked Tether any day over that. So I don't know the exact workings of what the numbers were that did this, but we're talking a lot of money, like a lot, obviously a lot of money. And yeah, I think it's done, guys. So I would stay as far away. Sorry, I have background noise. I would stay as far away from those coins as possible. That's my 2 cents.
From our part, though, what I would say is this is kind of like the very reason why I've always liked USDC coin. let me see if I can share my screen really quickly and show why, like what happened to USDC over this entire time period. So this is coin market cap. If you look at USD coin or USDC, the low for the entire month has been almost like a dollar. So it's like 0.9988 cents. So the 99 now are dollars. So they haven't even like lost like less. They've lost less than a penny over a month's period. So that's extraordinarily stable. And you have a high of like $1 and a penny. So
Tether doesn't even hold that. Band. Tether can't even hold a peg that well.
Yeah, actually, if you were to look at something like Tether, let's take a look at that. USDT. They actually went down to about 95 cents over the past month.
Yeah,
and that was like during that particular time when there was like issues like with Luna, etc. So that low, I think it's like loading. So at least like from this source, they went as low as roughly 98 cents. And there's also a little bit of a difference between like say something like Tether and USDC coin, USDC. So USDC actually has pretty much everything in actual cash. So if you give them $1, so you're purchasing like one of their coins, they basically take that dollar and put it into their treasury. That's basically what happens, almost like what you would expect for a stable coin. So pretty much all of their treasury, it contains just like government debt, or it contains your actual dollar. So U.S. Treasury securities and U.S. dollars are what they have to support their currency. So if there is like kind of like a quote unquote bank run, all they're going to do is just give you your dollar back. Simple as that. You're just cashing out pretty much. USDT or Tether is a little bit different because they actually have a slightly different breakdown in their reserve. So they're mostly cash and cash equivalents, but they also have other loans and corporate bonds, which are not necessarily supported by the government. So that's a little bit riskier, isn't it? And that's kind of like why you saw Tether's price fluctuate a bit more over the past month than something like USDC. So they don't necessarily have for every coin that they're minting $1 to back it up. So they would be like more prone to losing their peg than something like USDC. And also I'd also comment that with these stable coins, they're actually kind of an important part of the crypto ecosystem, because you're making that's like 20% or even 40% with some of these like algorithmic stable coins, because you're lending out your money to other people. And so these other people are going to be taking like the money that you've lent them and investing it into other parts of the crypto ecosystem. So they're going to be investing it in other crypto projects. So you're providing liquidity and you're providing leverage for other crypto projects. So yeah, that's also partly why this had a reverberable effect across the overall crypto community. It's definitely not a good thing to have like one of these stable coins lose their peg, because like Mark said, like stable coins are supposed to be, well, stable. So ideally, for me, if I was going to get into any stable coin, it would be USDC, just because, if I want to cash out, I know that they actually have $1 waiting for me in their treasury. So yeah, it's unfortunate that this overall thing has occurred like with Luna and Terra, but I think it's also kind of like a good learning opportunity for all of us in that we should be paying attention to where like our money is going. Is it going into an algorithm that is dependent upon other cryptocurrencies? And let's be honest, a lot of them are interrelated, because if Bitcoin goes down, a lot of the other ones are going to go down.
That's a good point too, because as long as Bitcoin's going up, yeah, you're probably those algorithmic stablecoins are probably going to be able to hold their peg, because there's going to be plenty of money to support it. But when Bitcoin's going down, it's the last thing you want to be in, just because it's going to get harder and harder, especially if there's a mass crash. And then at that point, it's a gamble, right? Because you saw people, it retraced, and you're like, well, I'm still not back to $1. Maybe it got back to 70 cents. Then you have people, you know what, I'm willing to cut and run right there just to get something, because I don't know if this is going to keep going down. And if Bitcoin somehow would have reversed or something, could have saved it, that would have been like a miracle. Sorry, guys, that keeps going off. But yeah, it's just like, how do you have faith in something like that? And I mean, with a little money, okay, you can take a gamble, but with a lot of money, it's too risky. And there's no regulation there's nothing in place. There's no insurance requirements for these people. There's nothing. It's the Wild West. So maybe someday, like in the future, which I don't even think these are going to be allowed, honestly, they'll probably regulate algorithm stablecoins out. Like it's probably going to require a peg, like a 1-to-1 to the dollar. It's just, we're not there yet. So time to come. Could be different.
Yeah, and I think like USDC is like is well poised to like survive like those kinds of regulations. They already have like monthly reports on like their treasury. So they've been like very transparent about like what they have in store for everyone that's been investing in their stablecoin. And in addition,
I want to say one more thing real fast. I also, just before I forget, I don't think that the stablecoins of today are necessarily the end all be all. I still think it's very possible there to be a USDC like CBDC type coin that's going to be a government backed official stablecoin. That will probably be the one everyone will be required to use. That's what I foresee. I just wanted to give those 2 cents. So I think that if people that are holding a lot of money, you're probably better holding it in cash until you really, regulation is gonna change this whole ball game, and we're going to see a flood. Once everyone feels secure, we'll see a flood, and that's really what's going to spark off this bull run whenever that time comes.
Yeah, and I'm personally looking forward to more regulation in the crypto space, because I think with more regulation, we're going to see more broad acceptance of cryptocurrency within like our everyday lives, and so I think that can only bode well for crypto. Yes, the Wild West is exciting, but you know, at some point, you got to tame the Wild West. You got to settle down and start really building on the opportunities that you have, just like we have with the actual Wild West. I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens in the crypto space once everything is become a lot more stable, and people can know like where their money is going, so they can make more intelligent decisions, and then we can actually just like build something that build like the ecosystem that we've always wanted with crypto. But until then, I will be staying long and staying as green as I can.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for watching Wall Street Saturday. Remember, this is for educational purposes. We're not financial advisors. If you like our videos, go ahead and like and subscribe and hit that notification bell to be notified every time we have a new video out. Thanks for watching.